Hello, hello. Thank you for such a great introduction. My name is David. I'm the founder of Tapestry. We serve the best open social graph data on the internet in one API to developers, and we store all that data on Solana. One of the more popular social graphs that we provide is Farcaster, so I'm honored to be sitting here with Linda. Do you want to give an introduction to Farcaster for the few who may not know it?
Yeah, so I'm Linda. I'm developer ecosystem lead at Farcaster, helping to grow mini apps on Farcaster. Prior to that, I was building on top of Farcaster for a year and a half. It's a permissionless social network where anyone can have access to their social graph. So really excited to chat more today talking about Farcaster.
Totally. So the topic of this talk is your social graph should be yours. We should start there. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, for me, if you've built a following on a social network, you should be able to have access to the followers that you've built up. So if you decide to switch to another platform or you decide to build your own application, you should have access to that data. And so right now, it all exists in silos. And I think it's really important that people are able to carry their follower graph wherever they go. And then on the flip side, for developers, they should be able to have access to all of this data. And I think that's really important for people to be able to start and create all these clients where people can just immediately start using the network and not have to start over from scratch.
Totally agree. One of the superpowers of Web3 is composability. And an unlock for me was when I logged into my first app with Phantom. I had my money there, went to a different app, I had my same money there, and that same can be true for your social graph. It should be. This is a 10x improvement for both users onboarding into apps, but also developers who have to build up a network effect every time they try a new app. It's really difficult to do. So yeah, Open Social unlocks that. Can you talk a bit about what makes Farcaster different than other maybe Web2 social networks?
Yeah, so on Farcaster, one thing that's really different besides the permissionless social graph is that you have every user having a crypto address by default. So that means that people can send and receive crypto payments without having to figure out all this like wire information or anything. And you can send micropayments, and it's global, instant, very cheap. And so I think this is really powerful for creators to be earning and for builders to be able to have revenue for their mini app within Farcaster. And then we also have an embedded wallet within Farcaster, so you can just one click be able to interact with mini apps. And so announcing today that Solana support is now live on Farcaster, so you'll be able to use wallet and mini apps. And so you can download Farcaster, Warpcast is the client, and you can test out. And then thank you, SNS, for doing an airdrop to Farcaster users so they can get started with a small amount of SOL.
That's really huge. Farcaster on Solana is one of the bigger requests that we get. It's exciting to have you guys in the ecosystem, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun. The more open protocols that work together, the better data that we can provide developers, the better experiences for users. Question I have is, social graphs currently live across chains. What is the importance of making sure that all of these apps and different chains work together?
Yeah, we're still trying to improve the user experience across chains. Right now, we do support bridging from other chains. So if you want to buy SOL or tokens, you're able to bridge. I think there's a lot of work needed to do. We tried to make it very seamless within the embedded wallet, so users aren't having to switch to a bunch of different chains. But in the long run, we want to make sure that it's very abstracted away from a user, so they don't even have to think about it. And users can just come to Farcaster and start being able to interact with many apps.
Yeah, I speak to a lot of builders at Tapestry, and what we notice is there's a lot of experiments that happen. With open social protocols that store this data, these developers can do these experiments. They may or may not work, but they can keep the history of the users that they connect with, and they can try again using their same data. And I think that's super powerful. So looking ahead, we zoom out 2 years. What does Farcaster look like? How do they play? Like, what does that look like?
Well, yeah, in a success state, all of these users that are building their following on Firecaster are able to port their follower data anywhere they go. And I think an example of this right now is Coinbase Wallet is building a Firecaster client, and they have actually more users than the client we've built. And so everyone that's built a following on our client automatically has that following on Coinbase Wallet, and there's going to be so many more applications like TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, all these equivalents, and users can just choose wherever they go. So it gives more power to the users. And then on the developer side, you can build all kinds of things that weren't even possible before once you have that permissionless social graph. And I think that we're going to see like basically the early days of what Facebook could have been with like Farmville and this explosion of apps. And now when you have this on-chain component where it's really easy to monetize and users can interact globally, free and cheap, especially with Solana transaction fees, I think that's going to just be this like really huge economy that can exist within the social feed.
That's a really great point. And what Facebook did with by deplatforming builders that were building on them was kind of bad. It stalled early social builders from building big apps. It's cool that open social graphs make that harder to happen. OK, so last question. What's one primitive or building block you think is still needed to make Web3 social go mainstream?
I think one thing that needs to be worked on a lot is actually on the spam side. So in the space, we have a lot of people that are trying to use different networks because they're trying to maybe like airdrop farm or something like that. And people coming to a social network want to see high quality content, and they want it to be catered towards them. And so we spent a lot of time on trying to be able to surface high quality content that users want to see. And even within our ecosystem right now, it's very crypto heavy. And so if we were trying to onboard a lot of new users, they need to be able to see content that's relevant to them. Maybe it's not even crypto that they're interested in. So I think that is a problem that we're really trying to work on. And each client can have their own spam detection and filtering. But we have a long way to go to get to like a mainstream adoption to improving that.
And for us, we're just trying to get new sources of data on chain. So right now, the tokens you buy, we do see the followers you have, but how do we get your Netflix history, your music, how do we get that on chain, and making that a resource for developers is a big focus for us at Tapestry. So thanks, everyone, and big thanks to Linda and the Farcaster team. Let's build an internet where our relationships belong to us. Thank you.
Thank you.